Have you ever wondered why lust is often viewed as a negative aspect in our society, especially when it comes to religious perspectives? We tend to associate lust with sin, wrongdoing, or moral debasement. But is this the whole picture? Lust, like any other emotion, is a part of human nature, and yet it's often shrouded in shame and guilt. Now here's a thought. What if we've been misunderstanding the concept of lust, particularly within the context of the Bible? Is it possible that the biblical interpretation of lust isn't as black and white as we've been led to believe? Could there be room for a different perspective? One that doesn't paint lust as an inherently evil emotion, but as something more complex and human? Are we ready to challenge our preconceived notions and delve into a deeper understanding? Could it be that we've been misunderstanding the concept of lust in the Bible? Let's dive deeper. So what does the Bible really say about lust? When we delve into the sacred texts, we find numerous mentions of lust, often associated with cautionary tales or moral lessons. From King David's infamous desire for Bathsheba, to Jesus' Sermon on the Mount warning against lustful thoughts, it's easy to understand why lust has been painted in such a negative light over the years. However, it's crucial to understand that these interpretations are often a reflection of societal norms rather than the biblical context itself. For instance, consider the story of King David. Is the issue here really lust, or is it rather the misuse of power and betrayal of trust that are the real problems? Then we have the Sermon on the Mount. But what if we interpret this not as a blanket condemnation of lust, but a reminder to respect the sanctity of others' relationships? After all, Jesus was not merely a religious figure, but a social reformer as well. It's a thought-provoking concept, isn't it? That perhaps the Bible isn't outright condemning lust, but rather cautioning us against its potential misuse. It's a call to responsibility, to understanding that our desires, while natural, must be balanced with respect and consideration for others. Perhaps it's not the lust itself that the Bible warns against, but the misuse of it. If lust is a natural human emotion, why would it be viewed so negatively? Let's ponder this for a moment. Lust, in its purest form, is a natural human emotion. It's a part of our biological and psychological makeup that has been with us since the dawn of mankind. It's the initial spark that ignites attraction, the primal instinct that pushes us towards potential partners. But here's a thought. Could it be that the Bible's cautionary tales about lust are not necessarily about the emotion itself, but rather how we manage it? Could these warnings be guiding us to not let our desires rule us, but to rule our desires? Perhaps it's about understanding, controlling, and channeling this powerful emotion in a healthy and respectful way. It's about balancing our natural instincts with our moral and ethical responsibilities. So is it possible that the Bible is actually encouraging us to understand and control our emotions rather than shun them completely? So, can there be any positive aspects to lust according to the Bible? Well, let's delve into this, shall we? When we consider lust not as a raw, uncontrollable desire but as a passionate drive, it begins to take on a different light. This passionate drive can be seen as a force that propels us towards achieving our goals, striving for excellence, and breaking through barriers. Now let's bring the Bible into the picture. It does not explicitly glorify lust, but it does emphasize the importance of harnessing our desires. In fact, the Bible encourages us to channel our desires in a constructive way. It reminds us that we are beings of passion and desire, and these feelings are not inherently evil. Instead, they become problematic when they lead us astray and control us. To illustrate, consider a sculptor. The sculptor's lust, or intense passion for creating art, doesn't lead him astray. Instead, it fuels his creativity, driving him to create something beautiful and inspiring. This example shows us how lust, when understood and controlled properly, can be a driving force for good. So it appears that the Bible might not be asking us to suppress our desires, but to understand them, control them, and channel them towards positive outcomes. Lust, like any other emotion, can be a positive force when understood and used wisely. It seems that the Bible's perspective on lust might not be as negative as we've been led to believe. We've unearthed that lust, when understood and controlled, can indeed be a positive force, a catalyst of passion and desire. Subscribe for more amazing content. Keep wondering.